Welcome to Mid-Mo-J. This week we're going to talk about the clover plot that we discussed previously in the first vlog entry. We're going to talk about the fertilizing and the frost seeding of that plot. Then we're going to switch gears. We're going to talk about a new choke that I received this week and shooting it for the first time out of my Mossberg Maverick 88. On the clover plot, a typical fertilizer that you want to use for clover is a fertilizer that's high in phosphorus. If you can find like a 0-20-0 fertilizer, that would be almost perfect for that kind of plant. Clover is a legume, so it doesn't require the nitrogen that like corn or grasses would need. For this plot, I used a 12-12-12 fertilizer, mainly because of availability. The 12-12-12 was currently available to me at Tractor Supply. I would have rather used like an 18-18-18 or something that has higher phosphorus in it, but I could not locate it quickly. For this application, I calculated that it needed about 1 bag of it over the whole 1/8 acre plot. This plot was small enough such that I could just use a normal hand broadcaster. For larger plots, you may need to use a 3-point style spreader from a tractor. It just depends on the size of your plot. If you haven't put lime down by this point, I highly recommend you do so in the fertilizing stage to help balance the pH of the soil so that the clover has a chance of pulling the nutrients out of the ground. It doesn't do any good putting the fertilizer down if the pH of the soil isn't correct. The typical spread rate for lime is 1.2 tons per acre. This was a 1/8 acre food plot, so I spread 6 bags of lime, pelletized lime, over this to increase the pH by 1 point. In this food plot, I did not have a soil test done, but it is a very good idea to have soil tests done when you can. That way you can minimize the amount of lime or fertilizer that you need to buy for a specific application. The seed that I spread was a biologic New Zealand clover blend, mainly white clover. I never used this seed before, so we'll see how it goes this spring and into summer. I'll bring videos giving it updates on the plot, along with any other plots I'm working on. The seed that I get, I don't have a particular brand that I use. I do a lot of buying of seed through Bass Pro because I do use a lot of my Bass Pro points to fund my projects. A lot of you guys don't have a lot of money to spend on food plots. What I do is I keep Bass Pro points. I have a Bass Pro credit card. I use it like I do my debit card. You get 1% back on everything. So that's how I fund my food plots, with the points that I get back. And it's up to you whether you want to use that or not. That's completely up to you. I know some guys don't like credit cards, but it's free money. And that's what I have done for the last year or two. In spreading the seed, what we're doing is we're frost seeding this plot. And what frost seeding is that we're playing on the daily temperature extremes to expand and contract the soil. And when the soil expands and contracts, it works that seed down into the soil. So with the temperatures we've been having in the 50s, 60s, and lows in the 40s, 30s, 20s this morning, we should have good ground to seed contact with this plot. And it also helped that we got a little bit of rain this week. So to summarize clover plots that require lots of phosphorus, we're getting that out of the 12-12-12 fertilizer. They don't require any nitrogen, even though we're still getting it out of the 12-12-12. But what they do actually do is they pull nitrogen out of the air. They're a legume. So they're good for a crop rotation for other crops that require lots of nitrogen. So you can start with a clover in the spring and then switch to a brassica or a more leafy type in the fall that requires that amount of nitrogen. The next point is we balance this plot with lime. You can go back and look at video number 1. I go into it in more detail in that video, and I discuss the lime. We discuss it some here in this video as well. Lastly, I want to talk about spreading the fertilizer evenly and not overseeding the clover. You want to make sure that when you're spreading the fertilizer, you spread it even. And you'll get kind of a rhythm as you're walking, and you just want to make sure that you have a good coating of the whole in the amount that you've predetermined. And then when it comes to seeding, you don't want to overseed. There's 2 things that can happen. One, you're just wasting seed. You know, you don't need to put down that much. And two, if you put too much, you can actually choke the seed out. So that's not a good thing to do. As I said at the beginning of the video, I also tried a new choke today out of my Mossberg Maverick 88. So let's see how that went. I acquired this Mossberg Maverick 88 20 gauge this winter. I got it for the nephews to use turkey hunting and for general squirrel and rabbit hunting. I have it out here today at the bow range. I bought a standard H&R extra full choke for it. I'm going to shoot a 3-inch Magnum number 6 turkey load through it. Just want to get a general idea of how it shoots. Might be slightly hard to see because I'm not using a really great target. I'm using a trash bag over foam block, but you can see pretty good pattern. It's 25 yards. The main mass of shot is right here. First impressions of the H&R extra full choke were very good. I'm gonna do some more testing with that here in the future. We're gonna have the nephews go out and shoot the guns. We're gonna pattern for youth turkey season and get them ready to go. And we're also getting ready for snagging season, so we'll be looking forward to that. I'm going to talk about rigging, I'm going to talk about our setup in the boat, and we're actually going to have some video from us snagging after March 15th, so be looking forward to that. And that's my video for this week. If you like what you see, subscribe, and thank you for watching.